2024 and talk about some of the history of Field Day and the rules that we can expect when we do this in June. This is part one.
Yeah, go ahead and let me know. Just real quick to follow up on Clay. Also, not that same weekend, but the weekend prior is the Major Taylor East Side Bicycle Ride. It's similar protocol and set up like the Cycle 66. Very busy 3 weekends there. Field Day, then the East Side Bicycle Ride, then Liberty Fest. So, yes, Steve.
Liberty Fest has the rodeo on the 27th and 28th, but it is in the evening. Major Taylor Cycling is in the morning on the 28th. The two should not interfere with each other.
Yeah, they shouldn't, but you got people.
Yeah, it's hard to do a volunteer.
Now, the East Side Cycle Ride's on Saturday, the 29th, but you got 3 weekends in a row there where you got heavy activity, so it kind of stretches us down. Anyway, Field Day is coming up. Question, what was the first year we held Field Day? Or the Field Day was held?
35.
What? 35. Close. Any other? 1933. That's when the first Field Day was held.
You're just a kid, man.
This year, Field Day 2024, of course, is going to be on Saturday the 22nd through Sunday the 23rd, 1800Z. That's 1 o'clock local. If there are any Marines in the building, the big hand is on 12, little hand's on 1. And we'll be again up at Oklahoma School of Science and Math. Thanks a bunch to our good friend over here, who is soon to be a retired faculty member of OSSM. Will again be in the, what do they call it, student lounge, student center?
Student lounge.
Whatever. It's in the very south part of the building. And that's been a very good site for us. Now, the first Field Day was held in June 1933, and it was the result of a casual comment almost made by F.E. Handy, W1 BDI. He was the CEO of ARL at the time. As you can see here, in QST, he said for 27 hours, starting the second Saturday in June at 4 p.m., we moved that time up, there would be an opportunity for portables to go into the field and contact as many other stations as possible. And he continued on, the real objective of this contest is to test portables wherever they may be available. If successful, we want to make this an annual event, or a fair. Thus, the beginning of Field Day. Reasonably successful, there were 202 entries in the first Field Day. As you can see, 104 clubs, 53 non-club groups, 45 folks at home. And they announced the winner in the September QST. Things really moved fast then, as opposed to have to wait 6 months before you see the results down. The non-club group had call sign W4 PAW. They made 62 QSOs, 28 sections for 1,876 points. Not too bad. Now the Central Illinois Radio Club, their call sign, notice anything unusual about their call sign? Got the 2 Z's in it. The reason for that is at that time, when you went portable, you had to get a special license. And to identify you as a special portable licensee, they put double Z's at the beginning of the suffix. Now, what's the mission of Field Day? Well, it's threefold. It's first to test our capability to establish and operate stations under extended operational conditions, and it's unsaid in non-traditional locations. And we want to prove the capability of these stations by contacting as many other Field Day stations as possible within the 24-hour period. And finally, to provide amateur radio operators, both new and experienced, with experience of operating procedures, including traffic handling and operating for extended periods. So it gives newbies a chance to learn the skills, and for the veterans, a chance to refresh and enhance your skills. Looking at the field day rules this year, there's only one brand new one. That's kind of unusual. Usually there's several changes. This year, there's only one. It's not really a change, it's an addition. And it's called the field day responsibility bonus. Now, if you read through that, you think, gee, that sounds a lot like the safety officer. Well, if you look at the bonus definition right before this one, it's pretty much what it is. But it only applies to the classes indicated below, B, C, D, E, and F. Class A can get the safety officer bonus points. Now, speaking of the categories, here are all the various categories that you will likely hear when you're on the air. There's Class A, which is what will be the non-club portable. Class A battery, which is, of course, non-club portable, operating on battery. Class B, two-person portable, informal. Class B battery. Class C mobile. Class D home station. There was a lot of Class D activity during the pandemic. People stayed at home and operated field day. Of course, Class E is home station on emergency power. Class F, emergency ops centers. There were a couple of years when we were still over at the Salvation Army Citadel, where we operated Class F. We were in their EOC. And of course, W5MEL, we would be operating as Class A. Bonus points are great because there are a lot of free points that you can add to your score. The most common is emergency power, and by the way, on this list, unless indicated otherwise, the bonus points are available to all classes. Media publicity, we send out news releases to the media. There was a change this year, or last year rather. It used to be if you just sent a release out, you got the bonus points. Last year they changed it, and you had to actually have some results. In other words, an announcement had to be published. Electronic media had to come out and actually do a story from either the site or do a story about field day. So it's an all or nothing kind of thing. In a public location, of course, we're going to be at Oklahoma School of Science and Math. We've got a field day banner we'll put out on the fence, out on the street. And something else I'm going to propose is we get one or two yard signs that say field day with an arrow that we can put out at the entrance, point people in to the OSSM parking lot, and also point them down to where we will be, because we're at the far end of the parking lot. Visitors might come in and say, where are they? I don't see them, and they leave. We'll have a public information table, and this is basically, as people come in, operators, participants, and visitors can sign our log, and also there'll be literature available for folks that are not amateur radio operators, talking about the hobby and how to become an amateur radio operator. We'll originate a message to the section manager, and we'll do that via WinLink. And there's another bonus point thing I want to bring up here in just a few moments. We'll try to tie it in together, but we'll send a message, as mentioned, to the section manager via WinLink, basically just saying we're at the Oklahoma School of Science and Math, and there are X number of radio operators present. That's the end of the message.